a modern hero. My name is Paddy Kearney. Not long ago I landed from the bogs of sweet Killarney. I used to cry out so fat because that was my trade, sir. Then I listed for a soldier boy with Corcoran's brigade, sir.
For to fight for Uncle Sam, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars.
Or once in regimentals, my mind it did bewilder. I bid goodbye to Biddy dear and all the darling children. Says I, the Irish volunteers, the devil o' what afraid is, because we got the soldier boy McClellan for to lead us for to
Fight for Uncle Sam, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars.
Soon got into battle, we made a charge of bayonets. The rebel blackguards soon gave way, they fell as thick as peanuts. Ach, home the slaughter that we made, they did, it was delighting. The Irish lads in action are the devil's boys for fighting. Oh,
we'll fight for Uncle Sam, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars.
Ach, sure we never will give in any sort of manner until the South comes back again beneath the starry banner. And if John Bull should interfere, he'd suffer for it truly, for soon the Irish volunteers will give him ballyhooly.
Oh, we'll fight for Uncle Sam, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars.
And now before I end my song, this free advice I'll tender. We soon will use the rebels up and make them all surrender. And once again the stars and stripes will to the breeze be swelling, if Uncle A will give us back our darling boy McClellan.
Oh, we'll follow Little Mac, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars. Yes, we'll follow Little Mac, he'll lay the Santa Gloria, he'll lay the Santa Gloria to save the stripes and stars.
Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush, your vocal, hush and listen, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you ready quick and soon, for the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, for the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. Oh, then tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, right well known to you and me. One word more for signal token, whistle up the marching tune, for your pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon, with your pike upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. Out from many a mud wall cabin eyes were watching through the night. Many a manly chest was throbbing for the blessed warning light. Murmurs passed along the valleys like the banshee's lonely croon, and 1,000 blades were flashing at the rising of the moon. At the rising of the moon, at the rising of the moon, and 1,000 blades were flashing at the rising of the moon. There beside the singing river, that dark mass of men were seen. Far above their shining weapons hung their own beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, forward strike the marching tune, and hurrah, my boys, for freedom! 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon, and hurrah, my boys, for freedom! 'Tis the rising of the moon. Well, they fought for poor old Ireland, and full bitter was their fate. Oh, what glorious pride and sorrow filled the name of 98. Yet thank God it still is beating heart in manhood's burning noon. Who could follow in their footsteps after